All right, guys. So I haven't done one of these lately, so I'm gonna be doing into the Bapaverse, right? So I'm gonna do like a monthly thing. I'm gonna see the top things that pop up on the subreddit, and we're gonna look at them. At least 10 of them. I don't want to make it like a long video. So let's get started. And what we got here? Mark Harley has been posting recently after he got fired, and he's been exposing Brendon. He recently went on Red Bar Radio, and he exposed Brendon's 300 pages claim he had against Bobby, and was saying how he didn't get paid after he got fired. He hasn't received the payments yet. So this is one of his texts he sent Brendon. Let's see this first. You treat people like across the board. I'm guessing the blue is Mark and the black is Brendon. That's not true, LOL. Hey dude, it's all good. Wish you the best. You realize you're going around the country telling people I send you shitty dick pics. Haha, effing. The moment shit gets real, you need to be honest with yourself. You don't just treat me like you treat everyone else like. And I tried to explain that to you, but you're not interested in hearing that. Another one. Kind of interesting. Oh, this is the first one. Oh, I actually went to the second one. I don't like the. Hey brother, I don't like the way things went down between us. You're a great friend to me. Working together makes it effing tough. Let's meet in person. If you're down when I get back, you should be proud of yourself. So should you thumbs up 3 times. You weren't my friend. Maybe I didn't handle certain things always right as a boss, but to go on the podcast for what? You treat people like across the board. That's not nice. So yeah, there's a lot of conflict right now with between these two guys, and they're making it public. And Harley Mark Harley is going on a AMA on the subreddit on Sunday, this Sunday on the 12th. So we're probably gonna hear some more stuff. He's not, Mark said he's not scared of Brendon, and he's gonna expose Brendon for more stuff maybe. Okay, here's another one. Let's see. Louis C.K. tells Rogan how ridiculous the obsession with saunas and cold plunges are. Let's watch that.
Long conversations about what's the right way to think and what's the right way to live, and all these many boutique things of here's how to feel better.
Yeah,
because we're just kind of sitting around. We're just consumers of the rest of the world. So
I was watching this video where these guys were talking about, Lex Friedman and Andrew Huberman were talking about saunas and cold plunges and stuff like that, and like the benefits of it. They're two scientists. They're talking about the provable benefits, heat shock proteins, cold shock proteins. And then I'm reading the comments where some guy was like, yeah, well, you guys aren't talking about is how much it costs to buy a sauna. You're making it seem like it's all free. And like what are you supposed to do? Like every fucking thing. Like, I'm sorry if you're broke.
Oh no, you have the conversation for people that can live that way.
Well, I mean, not just.
But it's just fun.
It's not it's not impossible to achieve. We're not talking about buying a fucking Lamborghini.
Yeah, but I'm not saying that there's something wrong with talking about that stuff because other people can't afford it. That's not at all what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that it's actually part of why people are miserable is because it's a ridiculous conversation. It's not like the way the earth and the experience of like competing for food and oxygen and living on earth, and living in society and just being a person. We've got to some altitude here where we're having some stupid conversations that are just, should I do a cold plunge or a sauna? Like, what the?
I think what he's trying to say after a certain while, once you have everything settled, you have all this money, all that's left for you to do is to be healthy, right? You have the money, you have the money and you have the time to take care of yourself. Now, a lot of poor people, a lot of peasants, right? They don't have time in their schedule to go to a sauna and do a cold plunge, right? And take care of themselves because people have a time limit on what they're doing, and a lot of common people don't really talk about the benefits of having a sauna or doing a cold plunge. I shower with cold water from time to time, but that's because that's probably the cheapest alternative. I already have cold water at my house that I could just use and not go to the gym or whatnot and have that, or steam up your restroom and make it a personal sauna there. But a lot of people don't have that time. I think that's what maybe Louis is trying to say.
The fuck is that? It's not that it's not you should be ashamed because people can't afford it. I feel sorry for the guy in that conversation. It's like it's a ridiculous trying to find just the right balance because there's nothing really challenging you because you don't have any real problems and you're not on the earth. You're not standing on the earth anymore. You're in a bubble where you sort of like, maybe I'll try this and maybe I'll just do protein now and I'll do, you know what I mean? And you'll never find a balance because that's not a normal life. That's not organic living. That's not living like a human being. You don't have a choice because,
but you have
what are you going to do? Be poor on purpose?
You have a physical body. And if you have a physical body, there's things that are beneficial to your physical body.
Sure.
And if you choose to do those things, you'll have a better body. It'll work better. And if you choose not to do those things because you think they're ridiculous, or do you think that's not organic living, that's not life,
yeah.
this is not life. It is life. It's life. And people have invented shoes. The reason why they invented shoes is because rocks will cut your feet.
Yeah.
So they figured out shoes. Shoes are better than no shoes, right? Getting in a sauna and getting in a cold plunge is better for the physical body than not doing it.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Lifting weights is better than not lifting weights because then you develop a strong body and don't lose your bone density.
All true.
Like all these things are a part of life. You could just decide they're not organic.
They're a part of life when you've removed yourself from the food chain and from real life. They become part of life.
That's true. When you don't have nothing else to do, that's like in a way it's leisure, right? It's free time you have now to take care of yourself now. But when people are on the go, they're not thinking about saunas and cold plunges. And if they are, they usually don't really tend to do that, right? Unless you're like an athlete or have some sort of specific lifestyle that you have to use it with. Because if you're just living an office desk job, what's the most injured you're gonna get? You're gonna get a carpal tunnel or what's it called, or you get like certain like joint pain. But even then, like, some people don't really tend to know about that unless you're listening to podcasters and people online saying the positive effects that it will give you in your body. But a lot of people don't know about that stuff, and they don't really they're not really out there like doing that stuff. It's just not really it's not very much of a casual thing for everybody to do. But yeah, I can see why Louis was kind of like a little frustrated with that conversation, because once you have everything, everything else, all you have left is to do cold plunges and saunas.
Hey, bro.
Yeah.
Tonight, my comedy, this is what I do to crowds. Ready? You know why they call me the man dragon? Cinders! Want that one? Peace out, guys.
Jeez. Obviously, that's not a real video. That was just cut. I think that was like some stunt some YouTuber did, and he got in trouble for it. Yeah, that's kind of funny.
Chaos.
Open micer calls out Bapa in front of the undertoad, gets props.
You were all dressed up.
Felt good.
Yeah.
What'd you rate it? How'd you rate it? On a scale to Brandon Schaub to 10, what'd you rate it?
For a guy that's been doing it. For a guy that's been doing, how long you been doing this? 5 months?
5 months.
5 months.
Yeah.
I will say it was. I give it 4 Brendon Shlobfish.
There we go, baby.
There he goes. I'd love to have you on the Secret Show Thursday.
I'll be there,
He's
Uncle
gonna work
Bryan.
it out again this
I'll be
Thursday
there.
at the Secret Show. There's
Thank
a new
y'all.
minute from Uncle.
Like, yeah, I mean, Brendon now, he is the lolcow, right? He is the guy. The guy that you can reference for bad comedy. He's just that guy now. And you just have to be, he's just recognized now. You know, even Joe, you know, he kind of had a little chuckle because he knows that's the game now. He's now a reference to what it means to be a bad comic, because I remember I was watching this Kill Tony episode, and that guy, Mr. Laser or something, his 1 minute of stand-up was pretty bad. And yes, it was probably like a 3 or 4, like how Tony said. And it is what it is now with Brendon. You're a 0, you know, you're a 0, which is a Brendon, or you're a 10, which is like who's a 10 in the comedy wise, like a Chris Rock. Either you're a Brendon Schaub or you're a Chris Rock. So you know, either you're or that. All right. So that's now we have a good definition of what a bad comic is, and it's just honestly like there's no like Joe. That's just gonna be how he's gonna react now. That's in the ether now of who is a bad comic. Bapa is, right? Bapa is now the bad comic.
My addiction's gotten way worse. It started off with
Brendon Shlobfish. Brendon Shlobfish.
one 30-gallon tank, and then it just reignited my passion for fish since I was a kid. I used to be balls deep in fish as a young boy. And then
Balls deep into fish. Sounds like you're a gay fish, bro.
it just opened up Pandora's box into this fish world, and it is deep. Now, I hate to be extreme here, but I don't eat fish anymore. You order calamari around me, especially after I get an octopus named Eddie. If you fuck with and you eat Eddie affiliate of mine, I'll fight you.
This is so
I am
trippy.
balls deep.
As you guys know, Brendon is now in his fish era. Man, the things that rich people do to just waste their money. Fishes is a new thing, right? Schaub speaks about Tank at last.
But that's what. But I told Logan Paul, I was talking to him the other day about it. It's like, dude, you're not going to win over certain people. It's just not going to happen. So any little chink in the armor that they can see a crack in, they're going to go for. Like the dog that I used to have. People are like, oh, you got rid of the dog, you gave away a dog or killed the dog.
No, that's not
No,
what
I didn't do any
happened.
of that shit.
That's not what.
No,
happened.
the dog was a show dog. And the guy goes, oh, you're not going to use it. I go, no. And it wasn't fitting with the family. So he goes, here's what we're going to do. I'm going to use this dog Tank as a show dog. Why don't I take the dog back? Because it's a show dog and you're not going to use it for a show. And then the new litter, we'll send you a new dog. I went, yeah, say less.
Because you didn't
But
care about
because-
showing. You said you weren't going to show the dog.
No, and the dog is a legit show
Yeah.
dog. And I went, yeah, that makes sense. Just send me another one that's not a show dog and I don't have to pay the premium. He goes, yeah, say less. He picks up the dog. The dog's trained to be a show dog now with its mom and dad, because the mom and dad are show dogs. The internet's like, oh, you got rid of this dog, you killed the dog. I'm like, no. What?
Bro, well, that's
I'm
the same
like,
thing.
what?
The same shit I just discussed about.
But like, you know, when you get a pet, right? It's like you get an affection for it, right? Like when you have a cat or a dog, I have a cat, right? And you eventually grow to love your animal, right? You get to love your pet. And for Brendon to be like, yeah, it wasn't my vibe. This dog was like a model, and we didn't want a model dog. It just wasn't for us to take care of. Like, you can get rid of a certain animal because, you know, maybe you're having a baby or they're dangerous, but to get a pet and then just be like, this is not for me. This is not my pet. It's just kind of like, it's just dumb, honestly. Like, honestly, he doesn't have any attachment towards it. That's how easy it was for him to get rid of it. This was just more of a thing that he could add on to a podcast, right? For a conversation. And once people went like, hey, where's your dog online? They're like, what the heck's going on with your dog? And I guess it started kind of annoying him because people thought that he killed his dog or something wrong happened to the dog, but he eventually just gave it away. It just shows how you just want a dog because it's cool, right? You just want an animal because it's cool, it's hip. But you generally, you get a pet because you want to have, something to, give you some emotional support or for your kids or your siblings or your family to take care of and ultimately ultimately love and nurture like a child, right? But for him it's just like, as they say, like a redheaded stepchild. And then, no, I didn't want that one, send them back. So yeah, I could see why the internet was a little annoyed by it, but ultimately that's his decision because the dog wasn't for him. But it is kind of sad for, I guess, a dog to find find a home and then get sent back because that dog didn't fit your vibe. Join us, all the people that have left The Fighter and the Kid. Here we got Chappelle Lacey, Malik, Brazil, Theo Vaughn. I don't know who that is. That's Marg Harley. That's Brendon's old. She's like, what's her name? What's her name? Cat. She's like the old cat that quit, I think. The best roaster ever, David Lucas. I know his name. What's his name? Derek Poston. Josh Wolf. Josh Wolf, I don't think he ditched him. I think he comes back on from time to time. And his 2 doggies that he quit on. Sad. Not very nice. This ain't Bapa's first gadooshing. Whatever happened to Shrimp? What happened to Shrimp? Did he get fired too? Howie gets the full mush-mouth+brain expairance.
The new stadium SoFi, it's ridiculous. So it's them and the Raiders have the new
the
stadiums.
Chargers, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, but really the Rams stadium because they won a Super Bowl, right?
Okay.
I
don't understand what you're saying, but go ahead.
You're from LA, you got it. But the thing about the SoFi is nice. SoFi.
He doesn't even know what SoFi is, and you're using the wrong team name.
Yeah, I don't think the Raiders play there, Bubba.
No, no. I said the two newest
Rams.
stadiums are the Rams and the Raiders.
I got you.
So
they're building another stadium.
No, the Raiders is done.
The Chargers are building another stadium.
They're supposed to, yeah.
No, it's there. It's framed.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah, I was there.
By SoFi?
Right next to SoFi. Do you not see that? Go right next to SoFi and look at the Chargers' new stadium.
Damn.
What are they calling it?
Completely expected by July 2024.
Yeah. So that's already just a year and a half.
Jeez.
It's already, I could see the structure. I was there. I was standing in line for a drink.
Yeah, I don't know much about football. I think the Raiders, they went to Nevada, right? And then the Chargers, they're now here in California. But look, honestly, I don't even know. A lot of people are saying that it was kind of rude for Brendon to kind of like give him the side eye and not really acknowledge that Howie was actually correct the whole time, because Howie was actually there at the stadium that was actually built. And then whoopsie daisies, there we go. Brendon gets corrected, right? He gets corrected, and then he He's like, oops, my bad. You're actually right. Yeah, a lot of people on the comments are like, that's kind of disrespectful for what he did to Howie. They're just kind of like side item. So, thick boy dimensional analysis part 2, Brendon's piece. I took a little look before I started recording this, and I am not gonna play this because I don't care about Brendon's piece. Okay, a lot of people, you know, they like to glorify their size, right? And I don't care. I just don't care. And this dude making this video about doing the math and everything else about how big his piece could be, I'm not gonna show you, honestly. I don't care enough to even put my thoughts into it or anything like that. If you guys want to watch it, go watch it yourselves. Wrinks takes a gadooshing.
Bradley went on the dumbest podcast in the world, run by the two biggest fucking morons on the planet Earth. Brendon Shlobfish.
Oh,
it's a vibe right now.
I was like, who is he talking about here?
This man, this is the guy who, these were the two guys who went after Bobby Lee during that whole big thing.
I remember.
This dude is accused of being okay, this is all allegations, I'm just saying, but this guy's been accused of collaborating with, he was allegedly involved with some of Chris D'Elia's allegations. There was one account where the girl said, Chris said, you have got to go to my friend's house and blow him before we meet up. And allegedly or speculated by people, of course I have no idea, that it was him. But I think he has other allegations too, but he's a piece of shit. And Brendon Shlob's a giant fucking moron.
Some say the biggest.
Nice thighs though.
So, I think what he's talking to is about the Chris D'Elia documentary on YouTube. I was like hearing it on the background. I was on this streamer, this live stream called his username is Agustino Zagna, I think his name is. He's like this black UK dude, and he does like the same thing like that I do, but he does it live, and you know, and he gives his takes like how I do, but I was watching it in the background because it was also like about to be like New Year's or before New Year's, like a day before or like the next day. I don't remember specifically, but I was there watching that, and I was hearing a little bit about the whole Chris D'Elia situation and how he liked to be like the dominant dude and have kinky things with him. And I did hear something about him like the girls checking in on the friend and getting tested before Chris you know, does his thing with the chick. So he might be talking about that, if that's maybe the thing, because I haven't really like seen the documentary in person to know, like, to see it like fully, because I was going back and forth into the room, so I was catching some certain things right when I was coming back. And let's keep going.
You know, they got
some say the nicest.
Oh, okay. And so I also wanna, if people don't know why is Ethan talking about this, is because Bradley Martin and Ethan have been, you know, they've been collabing with each other, and Ethan's been trying to convince Bradley that Andrew Tate is a bad dude, and that's why he's talking about this, because Ethan already knows that these two dudes, Bryan and Brendon, are weird, right? And associating with these two dudes makes Bradley look bad in a certain way.
Some say the nicest, some say the diciest. But the good news is Joe Rogan loves him. This guy, Bryan Callen, has allegations that date back to 1990. Wow. A woman said he R-worded her again. Those are just
1990?
Those are just allegations. And even just to be honest, I'm not even familiar with them. Sure. So it's all speculation and allegations with peace and love. Bryan Callen. Best friends with Chris D'Elia, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah. He has almost 5 million followers.
Yeah, there's a whole movement, like the Sigma movement among these.
Yeah, that's also the thing about the accusations is that for a long time, like those, like how you said, like 1990, like the 90s, he got accused, right, for doing all these weird things with these women, but it's very hard now to prove that it happened because you have no evidence, and you just can't do anything about it at that certain point. You can always make the accusations, but if he ever if he actually ever did it, it's never really gonna have any justice, right? You're never gonna see any justice because there won't be anything concrete to prove that was done.
Dude, you cannot say Sigma with a straight face, you dumb fuck. How did Sigma become a real thing?
Movement, no.
This Sigma thing was like such a joke.
Unironically, the Sigma movement. Oh, that's too much. That's too much.
Fuck.
This guy's like 52.
Dude, he is. You can't be talking about Sigma movements when you're 50, bro.
Bryan Callen is born in the 60s.
How old is that dude?
That's like 60.
He's
old man.
He's 60.
He's pushing 60, dude.
What's his exact age?
Okay, he's 55.
That man's 55 talking about Sigma?
And the media runs with that.
That's what it is. I don't think it's
the media
overshadows.
runs with it.
I think
this is so insane. The media runs with the wild shit, which overshadows unjustly that he tells people to exercise.
I feel like he's just pulling anything and everything out of his arsenal in his head to just throw at this conversation to defend him.
I think Schaub is barely functioning mentally, and I think he's doing a word salad.
Yeah, he's just like drooling off.
I think you're right.
Side.
So they were talking about Andrew Tate and how he's been seen in a bad light. What people see the most about Andrew is all the bad things that he has said, and not really talk about how he's influencing people to exercise. It's not, it's kind of also ridiculous to me because a lot of people online tell you to exercise, but if it's Andrew Tate, right, all of a sudden it's different. He's a different influencer. It's for me, like, I don't really care about Andrew Tate, so I don't really care about talking about him that much. Yeah.
Nice, huh? Nice. It's myself on here, cuz. Damn.
Theo is doing great. Looks like Theo and Santino and Stavros, who else? Mateo Lane, Andrew Schultz and his flagrant crew went to Paris Fashion Week, right? And I guess the subreddit is kind of rubbing it on his face that this could have been you, Brendon. This could have been you, but nah. Theo's going his own way. Oh man.
Fine, but
how would you like to be remembered? That question fucks me up because I know that'll happen one day, and I want to be remembered. I want to be remembered. I think you made sure that'll happen, bro. I'm trying my hardest. Why am I fucking crying? I just want people to like when they're having a good time to go, oh man, I wish Bert was here. Just like, go, he would have made this so much more fun. Like, that's it. I don't need to cure anything or like fix anything. I just want people to be like, God, man, that would be great if Bert was here. Man, you're the best time. It's the silliest thing. Don't want to be remembered. Fucking Nelson Mandela's like, what the fuck? You don't want to fucking fix it? I love it. And then people with hair lips in Brazil. I love you don't want to help those kids? I just want people to go, Bert would have gotten us shots. That's it. Fuck. That's it.
Okay. I mean, that's I think that's what a lot of people kind of, it goes around in their heads that they want to be remembered with something. They don't want to be forgotten and forgotten and just not be in anybody's thoughts anymore. And that's what Bert's greatest fear is. I think that's a lot of people's fears as well. But to see Bert as, you know, one of the people's, you know, like all these people that create content, you know, their stuff is always gonna live forever. And if you wanna be remembered even way more, then you know, you could do extra, right? You can donate to charities. You could go beyond what you're actually doing now and be remembered in helping people and doing great things and be a great influence. Also being a good friend, a great friend to your peers, to your family, to your fans, people that support you, the people that love you. They will always remember you. For Bert to say like, my fear is to not be remembered is a deep thing. But for him, you know, who has had all these podcasts and everything, it's gonna be hard to forget you, dude. We're always gonna have those memories, those thoughts on YouTube, online, right? Unless, you know, the whole internet is wiped out, then that's a whole different story. You know, we lose energy and we go back to the Middle Ages or whatever. But for right now, you're gonna be remembered, and eventually, once this whole universe ends or dies, or this world dies, then we'll all just be nothing. And that's honestly a fear that everybody has, you know, eventually, that you're gonna be forgotten and you're just gonna be dust.
Would you like?
I will end this right here, guys, and I'll see you guys next time, and I'll do another one maybe next month, and I'll see you guys next time. Laters. Oh, and also give a like and subscribe and your thoughts. What's your favorite clip here? And I'll see you guys